What's good, y'all? Welcome back to yet another video. And before we keep going with this video, just know that there are spoilers. Incredible amounts of spoilers. I will be spoiling this entire film. So don't come in my comments being like, oh, why you spoiled for, why you say this, why you say that. Just know, I just said that I'm gonna spoil this film. I already got the shirt up. You feel me? See, look, all right. We're going to get down into business right here. So, Spider-Man No Way Home. I'm not really good with reviews. I don't care. I'm still do it anyway. Spider-Man No Way Home is an easy 11 out of 10 film. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty... there's still little tiny issues with it, I will say. But, however, I do feel like that the positives definitely outweigh the negatives in this film. I'm not a professional movie critic. You know what I'm saying? I can't really decipher what's a good plot, what's a bad plot, what's too long and what's too short. You know what I'm saying? I'm like... I'm just the type of guy that's just like, if I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. You feel me? So, let's get down into business. So, the movie starts off with literally after Spider-Man Far From Home, after Mysterio reveals Peter Parker's identity, and we see the problems of that. We see what Spider-Man has to go through. We see what Peter has to go through. His friends have to go through. We see, a lot of his world, a lot of his life after that situation just happened. We see him portrayed as an evil individual. We see what the people of New York have to say about him. His own home is getting rocks thrown into it. You feel me? Like, it's very rough. Very rough. And it affects everybody, not just him. It affects Happy. It affects his school. You feel me? Like, you always have a lot of paparazzi at his school. Like, you see a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying? And you got people calling him murderer, even though he's not a murderer, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's very rough for Peter, you know what I'm saying? To be labeled something that he wasn't, and he has to deal with that left and right. You know what I'm saying? I do wish we could have gotten more of that kind of life from Peter, even though it is like a good chunk of the movie. I wish we could have gotten it resolved a little quicker. You know what I'm saying? Not quicker. I wish it got resolved much we could have seen into it. Because if you guys didn't know, Daredevil's in the movie. Daredevil's in the film. So, and if you guys didn't know, of course, Daredevil, aka Matt Murdock, is also a lawyer. Day by day, you know what I'm saying? And he's actually Peter Parker's lawyer. So now we got Daredevil officially back in the MCU. Same actor, you know what I'm saying? Same character, you feel me? And he does a great job playing Daredevil. And we all know this. You feel me? He's Peter Parker's lawyer, which is actually pretty dope, though. It really is, because, Daredevil knows that Peter's a superhero and Daredevil's a superhero too. Like, you get it? So, Daredevil eventually says in the film that, Peter is cleared of these charges and stuff like that. I wish we could have seen a little bit more of how he did it. You know what I'm saying? I wish we could have seen, like, a trial or something like that. But this movie was actually long enough, so I guess I kind of understand why they probably didn't do that. I do wish that there was a trial. I do wish we could have seen more of Peter Parker's innocence being proven. You feel me? And Matt, he grabs the rock that was thrown into the window. You know what I'm saying? And he catches it. And Peter's like, "How did he do that?" Because, well, that was blind. Like, there's no way he should have saw that coming. But I digress. There's much more stuff in this movie I probably might not get to, because I saw it last night and it's still fresh in my mind. But yeah, I'm gonna still say what I can. All right, so we see Peter Parker trying to get into college. You know what I'm saying? We see him trying his best, trying his hardest, trying to get to the same college that MJ and his girlfriend and his best friend trying to get into. And, he tries other colleges too, backup colleges, just in case of the college that he does want, you feel me, doesn't work out. And he's thinking like, yo, how could he even apply to these colleges? Because first of all, they know that he's Spider-Man, and now they also think he's a murderer. Like, that wouldn't really go well for any college. So he's getting rejected left and right. And MJ is saying, expect disappointment. You feel me? Just don't get too excited, Peter. You know what I'm saying? Just expect to be disappointed. Because you can't get disappointed if you expect this. You get it. So, yeah, that's that. And we eventually see him and MJ. I'm skipping over a lot of stuff, by the way. Just see the film. We eventually see them open up a letter, all at the same spot, you know what I'm saying, where MJ works at. And they'll open up together, and they all get rejected one by one due to recent events and recent allegations and recent stuff relating to Spider-Man and Peter Parker, because they're known for being friends with Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Yeah, and Aunt May too. Like, when Aunt May was getting interrogated, we saw little stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Peter getting investigated and stuff like that. But, you know, I just went back a little bit. Let me continue back to right here. So, yeah, right here it shows that Peter's life is not only affecting him, it's affecting his family and his friends, which is why he had the mask in the first place. So, we see J. Jonah Jameson continuously ridicule Spider-Man, which is expected. And it's nice to see him back. It's really nice to see him back. So, yeah, J. Jonah Jameson is not holding any punches. So, Peter's like, bro, enough is enough. So then, he goes to Doctor Strange. He goes to Doctor Strange and, you know, basically tells him his piece. You know what I'm saying? He can't, you know, he has no privacy no more. His family is just going through it. Like, they literally had to move from that apartment that they was at to a whole new compound where Happy was staying at. Like, it got bad. They couldn't even stay where they stayed at before, even though they were cleared of everything. You know what I'm saying? The helicopters were following him. Pictures were taken of him. Like, bro, he can't have no life. And now he can't even go to the dream college that he wanted to, and his friends can't too. So, yeah, Peter's going through it. So, Doctor Strange, which Doctor Strange was interesting. Doctor Strange was interesting. He, you know, he hears Peter out. Like, yo, I feel for you. You know what I'm saying? I feel for you, but there's no spell that could really do that. And, well, the Time Stone is technically gone. And he's not the Sorcerer Supreme no more because, well, he got snapped away, you know, 5 years ago. There needs to be a, you know, da-da-da-da-da. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff he really has his arm tied around right now that he can't really take care of when it comes to Peter's situation. But he talks over with Wong, and then Wong is like, be careful. And I'm surprised that, am still shocked that, you know, Doctor Strange actually did this because, well, first of all, you know, he should have talked with Peter first, you know what I'm saying, being like, yo, is there anything else is there something that you need to tell me beforehand? Like, is there anything at all? I feel like they should have talked it out a little bit more because, first of all, this is something that could really affect the entire universe, apparently. You feel me? Multiverse, if they get it wrong. So, this is a very strong decision that he would like, you know, he would like to choose, you know what I'm saying? This very strong decision. So, yeah, I wish we could have seen more Doctor Strange actually being intelligent, because that wasn't really the smartest thing. Because, well, you know, when they get to the spell, right? When they get to the spell, Peter's all about, like, oh, wait, everybody's going to forget? No, hold on, no. There's a few people that, he's speaking about the spell, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like Doctor Strange should have, like, you know, said, like, being like, yo, is there anything you want to talk? Like, yeah, basically what I'm saying is, I feel like they should have had, like, a very deeper conversation before before they went along with it. But, you know, it is what it is. It's just a little nitpick, I get. Well, it's kind of like a big deal, actually, in the part of the movie. But, yeah. And then Peter eventually screws up the entire spell, and Doctor Strange can't contain the spell no more. Well, he technically contained the spell, but he couldn't really do it no more, and it started bursting, you know what I'm saying? And the spell went out of control like crazy, and yeah, and Doctor, you know, choosing to Peter some more, like, yo, you just ruined the spell because you wouldn't stop talking. You can't talk during the spell, da-da-da-da, you know what I'm saying? And that was kind of quick how everything just happened. I've heard many different criticisms throughout the first half of this film. Some people being like, oh, it's too clunky, too kind of rough. Which I understand. The first half of this film, there could be things that could be a little bit better, I guess. But it was nothing to really kind of ruin the film for me, in my opinion. The film was still great to me. Like, the first half was decent to me. It seemed like a very quite nice setup to me. I do kind of feel like, yeah, that we could have seen Peter's situation resolved, like more details into it. But, you know, it's a long movie. But, yeah. Then we see, this is kind of like going into the next half of the film right now. And this film, in my opinion, went by mad quick to me. It was very entertaining. So, dang, I kind of forgot a little bit. Oh my goodness. So, you know, Peter, he gets kicked out of the Sancta Sanctorum. You feel me? Out of Doctor Strange's house. Like, gets kicked out straight up. Like, for real, he gets kicked out. And, I'm sorry, I'm trying to think. It's been, like, I'm trying to feel. It was such a long movie, and so much happened that, like, I can't really give it to y'all the way I can. Maybe I'm not really reviewing it. I'm just giving, that's what it seemed like. I'm not even reviewing it. I'm just giving you the plot of the movie. But, yeah, we see Doc Ock, you know what I'm saying, terrorize people on the street after Peter's trying to talk to the lady for what's it called, the one of the heads of the college they were into, you know, trying to ask her why we didn't get in or give them a second chance, you feel me? And Doc Ock, bro, comes out like a beast. Like, bro, I love this part so much. Doc Ock comes out of nowhere, bro. I'm telling you, he comes out of plain nowhere. You feel me? He finds Peter Parker, finds Spider-Man. And, bro, I'm telling you, bro, it was on, bro. They started rumbling. It was like when I was a kid when I saw Spider-Man versus Doc Ock, bro. I saw Doc Ock just getting Spider-Man. And, bro, I'm telling you, the one thing about this movie that I can say I really, really, really loved was when, literally, Peter Parker actually showing that he knows how to fight. Actually punching. Because, like, I'm gonna be real, in Tom Holland's movies, bro, I never liked the way they did Spider-Man's action. I never really liked it, in my opinion. It wasn't really my forte. They just didn't really know how to do it to me, like the other films did. Other films had great Spider-Man action, but I don't know. These films wasn't really great Spider-Man action, in my opinion. It really wasn't. But, yeah, that was a great fight scene. One of the best fights I've ever seen from, like, a Tom Holland Spider-Man movie in my life, bro. Like, I loved it. I really did. So, you know, after that, Doctor Strange actually warps Doc and Peter together. Actually, at the end of the fight, you know what I'm saying, we see the Green Goblin come in, you know, drop a whole, what's it called, pumpkin bomb. It just explodes. And, bro, when we see Goblin come through, oh, my goodness, that was lit. That was an excellent entrance. Very great entrance. Very nostalgic, too, with the way it looks. It was amazing. So, before Goblin could catch Spider-Man and Doc Ock, who was right there, Doctor Strange warps him all the way into the underground of Doctor Strange's home, the Sanctum Sanctorum, and finds out that there's Doctor Strange finds out that there's Spider-Man villains from every universe. Of course, not every universe, because there's a lot of them, but from the past 2 universes of the live-action Spider-Man films, you know, they're coming through left and right. Doctor Strange caught the Lizard already. Did he catch one more? I don't think he caught one more. I don't know if he caught one more, but I know he... Nah! He's the only one he caught. Yeah, I think he was at that time. There might have been another one, or whatever. And, bro, we see Lizard. Bro, I'm telling you, Lizard was lit, bro. I love the Lizard. And they put Doctor Strange in a little containment, too. And they have these conversations. And Doctor Strange's, Doc Ock is, like, just so mad. It's like he's so mad at the world, but he's just being controlled by his arms. You know, and Doctor Strange is like, we gotta capture all of them because of your mask, you know what I'm saying, da-da-da-da. So, you know, he catches Electro. That was fun. That, like, bro, I love Electro is much better in this movie than the Amazing Spider-Man 2. I promise you. Doctor Strange is much better. Oh my goodness, Electro's much better in this movie than any other movie. They explained why he looks different though. They do explain why he looked different. You know, and I had a problem with it. I'm like, yo, how does he what? Whatever. So you know, yeah, and then Sandman comes out of nowhere, helps Peter in that fight, and Sandman eventually becomes mad at Peter because it's like, yo, did you just kill that? Did you just kill him? Because Sandman's technically not really evil. You feel me? He was never really evil. He was just trying to get things for his daughter and help her out. You know what I'm saying? Da 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 da. And so and so, right? So, and then Sandman gets mad because he thinks that Peter killed Electro just now. And Sandman's actually like, yo, Peter, is that you? Peter, it's me, Flint. And da 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 da. But no, I'm not Peter. I'm not your Peter. I'm a different Peter, you know. That's how that be. So, yeah, y'all know the Peter that he was talking about, the OG one. So, you know, he goes around collecting these supervillains one by one, and Norman Osborn is the last one he gets, you know what I'm saying? And then he collects Norman Osborn too, and, you know, Norman Osborn he's technically not bad. Well, he's not bro, let me be real. The Green Goblin is an alternate persona that Norman Osborn kind of creates in a way. You feel me? If y'all seen Spider-Man, the first one back in the day, y'all know what I'm talking about. The Green Goblin's an alternate personality of Norman Osborn. He's drop dead evil. Evil's I don't know what, one of the most evil Spider-Man villains you'll ever like read about. And Norman Osborn, he's not really too good himself, but you could tell that he doesn't want the Goblin on him, you know, controlling him. But, you know, I digress. And then once he collects Norman Osborn, because Norman Osborn, he's crazy. Crazy, I don't know what. And Aunt May's actually like, yo, you should help these villains, you know, you should help them out while they're here, you know what I'm saying? Not send them home to die, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what some of them do is die. Like Green Goblin's dead. Doc Ock is dead. I'm gonna be real. I don't think, in my opinion, they explain how good it was. I mean, they don't explain how they got over when they died, though. Like, Green Goblin, like, Norman Osborn should be dead. He had a whole glider through his chest. Like, really, he had a whole glider through his chest. Doc Ock literally drowned. Sandman never really died. He's just over there because he knows Peter Parker is Spider-Man. Lizard, he's not dead. He just knows Peter Parker's Spider-Man. Electro, I don't know if he's dead or not. But because Electro was technically pure energy. You feel me? You can't kill electricity. I think he just overloaded. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he did. Whatever. That's another topic. So, you know, as soon as he collects Norman, you know what I'm saying? Peter's like, Doctor Strange, we need to help these villains, bro. Like, they can't die. They just go back to die and just live horribly. And then Doctor Strange, like, they can't change their fate. You got a good heart, you feel me? And I understand where you're coming from. But having them here could ruin reality. Having them here could really ruin reality because they're not from here. This is not their Earth. So, you know, which is good points on both ends, you know what I'm saying? And, of course, Doctor Strange is technically, you know, he's technically right, you know what I'm saying? Having them here would destroy reality itself. So, yeah, I love the, what's it called? The dialogue between all the villains. Because all the villains, they were all, like, going at each other over certain things that we know, like the audience knows. Like, you know how the Lizard was talking about Electro was talking about the Lizard being like, oh, yeah, that's Dr. Kirk Connors. He was going to turn everybody into lizards. And then Dr. Kirk Connors was like, oh, I remember you. You was a nerd. You was a wimp. You was a nobody. Da-da-da-da. Stuff like that. He's like, I wonder how did all this power, you know, help your comb over and your teeth or something like that. It was funny to me. And we heard Lizard being like, I could help everybody turn everybody into lizards. Oh my goodness. And, you know, we hear about the Raimi villains, how is Norman Osborn alive? He died. And then Sandman's like, oh no, you died too, Otto. You drowned in the river or something like that. And And they're like, Norman, you died, da da da. And like I like all of their dialogue. I like how all of them are speaking. You feel me? Because it's like this is a lot of stuff that we know. You feel me? And yeah, it's lit. You know what I'm saying? It was great. It was actually great to get all that fan service in there. Because us, the audience, we know that. We know all the stuff. And it's funny that they know a lot about each other already. So, we get back into it. You know what I'm saying? Peter and Doctor Strange have a little altercation. They actually fight, and it's actually a pretty nice, real creative fight. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of aspects I like about it. I loved about the fight, or at least altercation, because Spider-Man ends up trapping Doctor Strange in a mirror dimension, and traps him in there and takes the box that could be used to send them home, and it's like, no, we're not sending them home just yet. Let's try to help them first, or at least something like that. So, yeah. So he frees all the villains, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, we could cure y'all, we could help y'all out with y'all abilities and stuff like that. At least give y'all a chance, you know what I'm saying, going back home. So, Peter takes all the villains back to his new condo with Happy and Aunt May. And, him and Norman Osborn. I like how Norman Osborn kind of says a meme in the film. I'm kind of a scientist myself, you feel me? I always thought that was funny, you know what I'm saying? I digress. Yeah, that phrase became a meme, by the way, if y'all didn't know. So, yeah, and him and Norman Osborn are helping. They're both very intelligent, and they're both helping Otto Octavius trying to fix that chip so he can have control of his arms, because his arms influence his mind to make him evil. So we see Otto eventually, get fixed. You know what I'm saying? He's a very nice guy now. He's not miserable like he was, because all he would do is just be miserable and just try to fight people, because his arms are telling him to do that. And yeah, he became a nice guy. You know what I'm saying? I've always said Otto Octavius not really a villain to me, but I digress. And they helped Electro. He's kind of very mean too, of course. And Norman Osborn eventually just start changing, and Spider-Man has these spider senses, of course. And I hate when that phone goes off. But, Spider-Man has his spider senses, and he sees Norman Osborn is just about to do something. He's changing, the Goblin's taking over, da-da-da-da. And then he gives this huge speech to the villains being like, we don't need to be changed. You're trying to send us back to a world where we're going to die and this and that and this and that. And the villains, they're kind of like, huh, he's right. You know what I'm saying? Norman Osborn is right. You know what I'm saying? We need to fight back. We don't care. And Norman Osborn, when I tell you, he is beating the crap out of Peter when Peter realized what he was trying to do. Yeah, he beats the crap out of Peter, because Norman Osborn and the Green Goblin, yeah, he might look mad old, which he really was. Norman Osborn's old, but he beat the living crap out of Peter, bro. Norman Osborn has that Green Goblin has that strength, I wish we could have seen his mask, bro. I wish we could have seen more of his mask, bro. But Norman broke it because he doesn't want to be influenced by the Green Goblin anymore. And yeah, he broke it in the alley early in the movie, and I wish we could have seen that, bro. What? The mask was lit, bro. And he's kind of scared without the mask when the Goblin takes over. So he beats the crap out of Peter, and they all get away in some way, shape, or form. And Aunt May, in the battle between Peter and the Green Goblin, Aunt May is still there trying to help Peter. Oh my goodness, bro. I'm like, bro, Aunt May, you're going to die. Stop it. And eventually the Green Goblin's glider comes in and literally stabs Aunt May. And Peter didn't realize that he was bleeding until he was holding on to her. And we see Peter just going through it, bro. Because Aunt May, we never seen Aunt May pass away on camera before. Like, I mean, not on camera, but on screen before. And Green Goblin kills her. The Green Goblin loves to kill Spider-Man's friends and stuff like that. And that tends to happen a lot. So, yeah, and it's very sad too. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yo, we saw Aunt May. Aunt May's one of the sweetest people in the Spider-Man movies right now. And yeah, that was that. And Aunt May actually says, Peter, you did nothing wrong. You tried to help these people. with great power comes great responsibility. Bro, when I heard that, I'm like, wow. Aunt May's the one to tell him that. Aunt May's the one to tell him that great power comes great responsibility. And I'm like, wow, that's great. But like, where was Uncle Ben though? Like, what? They said Uncle Ben was in the MCU, which we might get into later on in the Spider-Man show that's gonna come out sooner or later. So he wasn't the one to inspire Peter to become Spider-Man. Like, I was confused about that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, this sounds like it's the first time he heard this. It really does. It sound like it's the first time he heard that. Yeah, because like, what? Peter, yeah, whatever. And so, you know, and then Aunt May dies in Peter's arms, and of course Norman Osborn throws a pumpkin bomb and explodes more stuff, and like, whatever. And then the feds are outside because J. Jonah Jameson is trying to make Spider-Man look as bad as possible throughout the news and stuff like that. And it's like Peter's plan just went down the drain just now because Aunt May just passed away. It's crazy. So, you know, Peter's in a state of mind that it's just like, wow, I just can't believe it, bro. I really try to help these people, and they just stab me in the back like this. I mean, they're villains. What can you expect? You know what I'm saying? And you're working with the Green Goblin, bro. The Green Goblin. The Green Goblin. So, yeah. I mean, well, he didn't know what the Green Goblin was because Oscorp doesn't exist in this universe just yet, I don't think. But, yeah, and eventually we go back to MJ and Ned, which I haven't really touched on them lately. And I'm going to be real, they made MJ a lot more variable in this film because I'm going to be real. Zendaya is like one of my celebrity crushes, bro. You feel me? Is she? Kind of, whatever. But like, I love Zendaya, but like, her as MJ was kind of annoying in the last few movies. I'm going to be real, but she was very adorable in this movie. I loved her in this movie, bro. I don't know what they did, but this movie was amazing. This movie was great. Like, she was great in this movie. Very, like, oh my gosh. Like, oh, MJ. I can't believe it. So, yeah, I mean, they're wondering, like, yo, what should we do? You know what I'm saying? Because they have the box now. Because Peter's like, take the box. If something happens, then I'll tell you how to press it or something like that. So, yeah, we get to MJ and Ned. Ned is great too. I love Ned. Ned has always been great to me. Even though I do feel like that his character should have been saved for Miles Morales, bro. Because he looks just like Miles' best friend. But, you know, I digress. And, you know, Doctor Strange is still trapped in the mirror dimension, by the way. So, Ned has Doctor Strange's, you know, ring, whatever, brass knuckle, something like that. And it helps casting, you know, portals to other people in different realities. And guess who comes through in Ned's kitchen, bro? Because they're afraid for Peter. They're like, yo, where's Peter? Where's Peter? Maybe we could shine a portal to see Peter. You feel me? So Ned goes through does a little portal thing, you know what I'm saying? And Andrew Garfield comes out. I'm like, what? What? Like, bro, I was hyped. I'm like, yo, Andrew, let's go. And Andrew comes through, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, I'm Peter Parker, I'm Spider-Man. And Zendaya, MJ is like, what? Who are you? Who are you? And he's like, I'm Spider-Man, I'm Peter Parker, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, he's like, prove it. I mean, he has a suit on, but it's like, prove it. He climbs up there. So, he sticks to the ceiling, and he climbs up so he could get a cobweb. It was a very lighthearted, very adorable scene, and then we see the next Spider-Man to come through. We see Ned be like, no, we need to try again. Ned is like, we need to try to see if Peter is still here. Or Peter can come here. So he does that. He does that thing. And then Tobey Maguire just comes right through him like, what, Tobey? Tobey, what? If y'all don't know this about me, Tobey Maguire is my favorite Spider-Man, personal favorite. Like, I loved him growing up, bro. And now to see him along with Andrew, like, it's just lit. It really is. And then so Toby's like, well, we gotta find him. You know what I'm saying? Do you know where he's at? You know what I'm saying? Do you know where he's at? Do you know where he could find him? And then I like how Toby and Andrew, when they see each other, like, and they have a little, like, you know, little competition thing, whatever. And it was very sweet. It really was. So, you know, they're like, all right, we need to find Peter. You know what I'm saying? Then they go through a portal. Did they go through a portal to see Peter? Or did they just find him? Because Toby was like, is there a place that he will go to, like, think and recollect his mind about a lot of stuff? And I think they went to it. Or at least they shot the portal through it. Oh, I forgot that quick. I'm sorry. But, you know, they go to him. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, they're hugging him, being, you know, comforting him because, bro, he just lost his aunt in his bare hands. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, the Goblin just, people that he was trying to help just turned their back on him and just had Aunt May just killed. And it's just one of the closest people in his, you know, in his life just killed. And then you see he turns around and he's like, "Oh, we have help. We have help." And then he sees Andrew and Toby. I'm gonna call them that because I ain't gonna call him Peter. Peter, you feel me? So he turns back and he sees them, and bro, he doesn't really care. He's ready. He's just over at that point. He's just like, yo, I'm finna send y'all home. This is not my mess. This is y'all. Y'all can deal with this. I'm sorry I had to bring y'all here, but I'm over it. I'm finna press the button. And they're like, don't press the button yet. And they're giving a little speech about, you know, with great power comes great responsibility, and being like, yeah, I know what you're going through. And Toby's like, I miss my uncle. And Andrew's like, well, he missed his uncle too, but he talked about his girlfriend, which is actually very heartfelt, because I thought that was the best scene in any Andrew Garfield movie, was when he lost Gwen, bro. It was so sad, bro. And we see what he went through, and we see Andrew, bro. They really redeemed Andrew. They really did. They redeemed him, bro. You know, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was not really a good movie, like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't really that good to me. But that was beautiful. They really redeemed him throughout this film, and it's incredible. You know what I'm saying? We all get to see them working together on trying to find ways to cure all the villains, and, you know, eventually we see, you know, skip more into, they're actually going to Statue of Liberty, which is actually getting remodeled to be like Captain America with the shield. You know, like what's it called? It's still a Statue of Liberty, but like with the Captain America shit. I don't know. Marvel Universe stuff. And so, you know, we see, like, they're at the Statue of Liberty because it's still getting built. You know what I'm saying? It's very tall, very big set piece to have a final battle. And we see Peter Parker calling into J. Jonah Jameson, being like, yo, the villains, basically calling up the villains to know where he's at so that he could, you know, so that they could, you know, get down to business. You know what I'm saying? Because, what's it called? Yeah, they don't want to get sent home. They don't want to get sent home, and they know that Peter has a box that could send them home and have them killed, or some of them killed, and or just live horrible lives. You feel me? And of course, the villains, they don't want to go through that. They don't want to. So, yeah. And Peter, Toby, I'm going to just say Peter for Peter 1. And then they all give each other Peter 1, Peter 2, Peter 3. And you're like, oh, I'm Peter 3. Because Andrew, he kind of is self-aware that his movies wasn't that well. Or at least this Peter is. Or he wasn't really regarded as such as one of the best Spider-Men. And they're kind of self-aware about that. Whoever wrote this script is very self-aware. And stuff like that. And they all have this nice little conversation that I wish lasted longer, bro. I'm telling you. And then they're all kind of wondering why Toby doesn't have web shooters, how it just comes out of his body, you know, and they're just having long conversation. Like, I wish this dialogue lasted longer. It almost, their chemistry is amazing. Their chemistry is beautiful. It's beautiful throughout the whole film. Like, it's beautiful. Like, it's like, it doesn't even feel like it was a script at that point. It's like, Toby's like, I fought an alien with black goo. And Andrew's like, oh, you met my villains. No, Toby's like, you met our villains. You met some of our horrible villains. And web shooters and stuff like that. Like, it was great. It just comes out my wrist, like, bro. It was such a wholesome scene, bro. It was beautiful. And you see Toby trying to uplift Andrew. And, of course, we saw them all in the as they're all scientists, they're all very smart, and it's like all three Peters just working together. And when Zendaya's like, Peter, they're like, what, who, me? When did the computer, like, or at least something like that. It was funny. All their chemistry was great throughout the film, bro. Every character to me was lit, was nice to me. So, they're all, then all the villains show up, and, they all fight them here and there. And Electro fighting Andrew was lit, that little reunion. And Spider-Man and Sandman, their little reunion was fun, too. And then they're all trying to struggle. They're all kind of struggling, like, yo, what do we do? Like, they're not used to fighting as a team. And Tom is like, Peter's like, I fought as a team. I fought with the Avengers. And Toby's like, oh, the Avengers? What's that? Oh, you don't know the Avengers? Y'all don't have the Avengers where y'all from? And they don't. They don't really have the Avengers where they're from. I wish they had more conversation, even though it did last a while. Like, I wish they had longer conversation. But, like, when they spoke about, you know what I'm saying, the Avengers, they're like, yo, I don't know how to, I never worked as a team before, because they're always solo films. They're always by themselves. They don't know how to work as a team. But then Tom is like, Spider-Man's like, Peter, whatever. Peter's like, let's work as a team. All right, you're Peter 1, I'm Peter 1, you're Peter 2, and Andrew's like, I'm Peter 3. And then he's like, all right, let's go. And then Andrew's like, I love you guys. Like, Andrew did a great job. Andrew stole the show. He did a great job. And we see Andrew's reunion with the lizard. Oh my goodness. It was so much fan service. I love seeing all the Spider-Men go with the villain. Like, we see the villains, you know what I'm saying? When we see them with their villains and their chemistry with their villains being like, hey, remember, hey, you know what I'm saying, da-da-da. I always thought that was nice little addition. So, they're still fighting, you know what I'm saying? And one by one, they're curing certain villains. Tom cures the lizard. Tom, Toby cures Sandman, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna lie, when he cured Sandman, I thought that, that scene was taken straight out of Spider-Man 3 when he was, re-solidifying. I was wondering, why in the world did Sandman never materialize once? Like, why did we never see his human form once? Like, he was just literally sand. Literally the whole time, he was like, just saying, we didn't see his human face. I just didn't wonder that. I'm like, why didn't he just show his face? Like, what? Whatever. It's like he almost wasn't in the film. Like, he was just doing, like, he was just using the voice. Like, it wasn't actually him. They could have saved a lot of money. They showed his face a little bit, or they showed his human form a little bit. But, maybe they were just waiting for that part pin to materialize when they cured him. I don't know, but back to it. We see villains getting cured one by one. Doc Ock actually helps cure Electro, because Electro was bad, bro. Like, that dude was killing it, bro, and stuff like that. And yeah, because Doc Ock was actually cured already, and I think they were going around curing left and right. And what's it called? Doctor Strange comes out of nowhere in the middle of Peter curing the lizard. Doctor Strange sees it and is like, wow, it's actually working. And, he was mad though at first, and then he's like, yo, hold it. He's actually working right now, you know what I'm saying? Peter's actually killing it. So, Peter's like, all right, we all did it, you know what I'm saying? We're killing it, doing a good job. And yeah. And then Norman Osborn, of course, comes out of nowhere. When you thought a lot of stuff was good, Norman Osborn comes out of nowhere just doing stuff. And then MJ falls out. Falls. And then Tom goes to, save her. And then Goblin just comes out of nowhere and just hits him with the glider, you know what I'm saying, just so that he won't be able to save MJ. And we see Andrew fall. We've heard theories that Andrew was going to save MJ. And we see Andrew go down and save MJ, bro. And it was like his redemption, bro. It really was, because Andrew was getting emotional. He was like, I couldn't save Gwen, but I saved you, type stuff, you feel me? And he was like, are you okay? And she was like, yeah, are you okay? Yeah. Then he goes like, yeah, bro, oh my goodness. And we see him tearing up, bro. Andrew's amazing, bro. Like, I'll defend Andrew now. I really will. He deserves a third movie. I'm gonna get to that later on though. So, you know, we see what's it called? My headphones fell. Well, we see Peter and Goblin fly off into like a part of the Statue of Liberty, and they fight on that platform. And Peter, I'm telling you, he's knocking the mess out of Norman Osborn out of the Green Goblin. He's not gonna give him two pieces left and right, bro. I'm talking about Tom is just like digging into. This is the most fighting I've ever seen. The most punches I've ever seen. Spider-Man, like, you know, Tom Holland Spider-Man never give somebody all these punches left and right, you know what I'm saying? And then when Peter's finna go for the final blow, he's gonna grab the glider and just shove it into his body. We see Toby just go in front of him and is like, nah, don't do it. Don't do it. No, don't kill him. You know what I'm saying? We're saving him, don't kill him. You know, you could tell the look in his eyes like, don't kill him. Don't kill him. And then Norman eventually just stabs Toby. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Did he just do that? Is Toby dead now? What? What's going is that it? You feel me? I'm like, is that it? So I'm like, yo, Toby just died, bro. No way. Did they really kill him? And then, you know, eventually he gets the cure. You know, I think they throw it to him or something. And then they cured Norman, and the Green Goblin is literally no more in the system. And Toby, he's fine. He was like, oh, it hurts, but it's okay. I've been stabbed before. And yeah. And Dr. Strange is like, we can't contain it no more. We gotta send him back. And he's like, all right. And then Tom is like, how about we just do the spell like it used to be, how it originally was. And he's like, what? But everybody's going to forget who you are, including your friends and family. It's going to be like Peter Parker never existed. He's going to be like, it's fine. Are you sure about that, kid? He's like, it's fine. I made this mess, and I'm going to get you out of it. Or I'm going to get out of it, you know what I'm saying? And then Dr. Strange's like, see you around, Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? Because he's going to forget. Like, bro, that's one thing I'm a little mixed about is that, wow, they're really going to forget that Peter Parker was Spider-Man. Everybody. And all the stuff that he went through. Like, for real. His friends, family, like, they're just going to forget. It's crazy. So, you know, and we see one last goodbye with Andrew and Toby, and they all have a little heartfelt moment. And it was very sweet, bro. Very satisfying. And we see him saying goodbye to what's her name? To MJ and Ned and Doctor Strange, of course, and like it was so sad. It's very emotional. And we see them kiss, and we see him hug the other Spider-Man, and we see all them hugs. Like, bro, it was phenomenal. It was incredible to see. It really was. It was perfect. Those are some perfect scenes. Like, I see no problem with them. And then Doctor Strange does the spell like it was supposed to. Fixes everything in the sky. Fixes everything. Eventually, and later on in the movie, we see Peter just walking. And he has this note. He's going to go where MJ's job is. He gets a cupcake, you know what I'm saying, from her. And he's struggling to tell her, you know what I'm saying, everything. Like, he's really thinking in his head, should I really tell her who I am? Should I really tell her who I was? And he's debating about it, you could tell. And then you see Ned walks past him. And Ned walks past him like he's literally nothing. And we see him just looking like, it's like, oh, shit. And I'm here debating, should he tell him? Should he? Should he? After all they went through? Like, he shouldn't. But it's like, he eventually chooses that he's not. And just let her be. And MJ could really kind of tell that something was kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Because MJ can always tell when someone's up with somebody. And yeah, he just does his thing, and later on in the movie, we get to see. Let's go to the last scene. Actually, the last scene, we see him making his own Spider-Man suit, and we see little chunks of it because the Stark suit no longer is there. Because, well, I guess you need to. I guess Tony Stark kind of he forgot who Spider-Man was. You don't even know who Spider-Man was. Like, he couldn't create the suit for somebody he didn't know. I guess that was the case. I guess, but yeah, and we see him make his own suit, and it's much more vibrant. The colors are incredible, and we see him running, and we see all this, and we see all that. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. We see him fly out the window of his new apartment that oddly looks just like Toby's old apartment from back in his movies. And he gets a police scanner, and he's just swinging around Christmas time. Bro, I'm be real, the swinging could have been much better in the end. I wanted to get a good glimpse of that suit. It was so dark. I wish they had a better swinging scene, bro. I wanted to see it. I wanted to see better swinging. But it's alright though. That's just a little nitpick. It was great. It was a nice little scene. I think that was the point, to not get you to see a lot of the scene, you know what I'm saying? Because the suit will be revealed eventually in the next trilogy, which will happen. So, and we see him swinging around Christmas time, maybe around Hawkeye time, you know what I'm saying? Where that movie set place in. And that's the end of the movie. We're actually going to see a very comic accurate, like, Spider-Man suit. Spider-Man, movies, like, I feel like. Without all the technology. And we're going to see him, like, rebuild his life. And that's the end of the movie. And in the end credits, we see Eddie Rock and Venom. They finally get sent back to their own universe, and a symbiote strand kind of stays behind. And we're going to get the black suit soon, and I can't wait for that, bro. It's going to be lit. And that's the end of the movie. And in the after end credit scene, we see, like, Doctor Strange, trailer to the next movie, and that's going to be lit too. That was the end of the movie. That was the end of the movie. That was a lot. So let me, guys, give you my thoughts on this film. This film was incredible. I really do wish that we could have seen more of all the Spider-Man together, but I know it was a long movie. They had to do what they had to do. It was a great film. Great film. 11 out of 10 film to me. Has a lot of fan service. Has a lot of stuff that makes sense. You feel me? A lot of it makes sense. And the villains, I've heard, like, criticisms of certain movies being, like, people saying that, oh, it's overstuffed with villains. It's too crowded. It's too this. It's too that. Bro, I don't really care about that in this movie. This movie gave a lot of villains much like a second chance, and all of them made work of it. They did a great job. The Lizard, we get more of his plan in his mind. You know what I'm saying? He gets a great second chance. See more development from him. See more development from Electro. See more development from all these different villains, bro. And it's incredible to me. And I loved it, bro. I loved it. And I love the scene when Doc Ock and Peter, they get together and see each other again. Like, oh, Peter Parker, you're all grown up. Like, it was so wholesome. I loved it, bro. I loved it. So, yeah, and Andrew did a great job too. Andrew, like, bro, I'm gonna be real. This is what I think should happen. I want to see Spider-Man 4 happen and The Amazing Spider-Man 3 happen. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say that right now. I want to see those movies happen, because I feel like there's much more to really go through with them, or at least if not Spider-Man 4, then at least Andrew's movie. Andrew needs his third movie, bro. They need to have whole new writers, whole new excellent writers make his next movie, bro. Because I'm telling you, he needs another one. It doesn't even have to be, like, too big or nothing like that. At least just something lit, bro. Something amazing. A great story. We need that. We deserve that. You feel me? We deserve that one day. We really do. So, that was the end of the movie. That was the end of the movie. I can't believe it. We are now done with Spider-Man No Way Home, and all the speculation has now come to rest. Every character in this film seemed to have their own, lane. You feel me? Have their own strength about themselves. Of course, Peter was the main character. MJ did a great job. Doctor Strange did a great job. Happy, in the end of the movie, Happy doesn't even know who Peter is when they visit Aunt May's grave. And it's just kind of his reality that nobody knows who Peter Parker is. Even as a person, my G. What? What? It's crazy. But they all know Spider-Man. And J. Jonah Jameson's still in the film, criticizing Spider-Man. And I feel like we're going to have a nice comic-accurate Spider-Man now. You feel me? J. Jonah Jameson's now here. A more vibrant red and blue suit. You feel me? That looks to be a combination of Andrew's suit and Tobey's suit. And, yeah. That's the movie. What I think in the future. Well, we're going to get a next trilogy of Spider-Man films with Tom in it. And it's like he's really standalone now. He really is. That's what it looks like. But he's going to be another team-up film soon. But it seems like that his next film should be all by himself, growing up, outside of the Iron Man, kind of, shadow that he was placed in. No technology, none of that. Just him. And, yeah. 11 out of 10. I can't wait to see what else they do with Peter in the next trilogy. I want to see Kraven. I really do. I would love to see Kraven in the next film. But, hey, you never know. Alright, so that was the end of the video. Ooh, this is my longest video yet. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I really do. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this film as much as I did. And, yeah.